Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Welcome to another episode of the Uncle P Show. Um, Happy to have you here if you are here in attendance. Haven't done live in a little bit, so I can no longer say things like the usual regular run-of-the-mill shit. But since I'm recording, I know some of y'all might tap in. That's how I'm gonna carry it. So I just wanna start off the show today. I got a bunch of topics lined up. I'm gonna try to make it quick. I'm gonna try not to do like a really long show. See if I can get anywhere between like 30 and 40 minutes. Introduce a new segment today called The Worst Person You Know. Oh man, I give you an example. One of my examples of that is so when I say the worst person you know, I'm gonna like name something that the average person typically does, but it's like usually done by like somebody who's trying to somebody who's just a bad person, don't know they're a bad person, or somebody who's comes off as a good person when they're really a bad person, or somebody who's just like who does something that they think is minor, but to you it's like that's your 13th reason. So, like an example I have here is like the worst person you know just made a left turn without using the turn signal. Now, have y'all ever driven behind someone and it's like a light, right? Let's say it's one lane going this way and the opposing lane coming that way. You're driving behind someone and they're at the light. Say my hand is the light. Let me say my hand is the car in front and the mic is the you in the back. And they're making a turn signal and they're acting like they're about to turn. They stop, they hold up traffic and you're wondering why. Why did this car stop? Why are they not moving? And then it dawns on you, this car is waiting for opposing traffic to come so he can go left. Cool. But if you're gonna do that, brother, you got to give the people behind you some type of notice, heads up, something. You cannot just sit at a green light with no type of signal indication that you are turning. Because now a lot of us can't, the people behind you now, we don't know what to do. Like it just catches everybody off guard. It disrupts the flow of traffic. And more importantly, it's like, brother, are you paying the fuck attention? Like you may be trying to turn left without a turn signal on. It might be an opposing car coming trying to turn right or trying to make a left as well. And you can just go together. But since you don't have your turn signal on, that nigga is looking at you stopping and he just gonna go. And before you can even realize that you could have went as well, now it's more cars coming. Now you're still waiting. Now the cars behind you, we have to wait. It's like that's up, man. The worst person you know. Let me get my notebook. My notebook. All right, so first topic of today is going to be we're going to talk about Shadeur. I'm gonna just get that out the way because my African brother played last night and it just wasn't good. I didn't catch a lot of it live. Saw a lot of tweets, highlights, shit like that. So we're gonna get into that. Give me 1 second. Since I'm doing this by myself, it's not a thing where it's like, oh, he ain't ready, he ain't this. It's not that. I'm trying to do timestamps to make it easier for the viewer, because I know it's even for me, like I like watching things. Sometimes I just want to get to like the topics I care about. So I'm trying to do timestamps. So I'm trying to like write down the time, whatever. And this is something that I can only do myself. I don't have a production team and shit like that. So, all right, let me see if I can pull this up. Bro, I got another type of person that I also don't like. Like the worst person you know is giving you advice on shit that they have no, I don't even want to say expertise in, that they have no dealings in. They don't, I really hate people who try to like give me advice on shit that they don't do, they don't watch, they don't consume, they don't do nothing. Like an example would be like somebody trying to tell, just trying to tell somebody how to make content or try to make like, that's like somebody who barely watches movies, barely goes to the movie theater, barely and just involves himself in anything having to do with cinema, trying to tell somebody that they don't know how to make a movie or something. That's pretty extreme, but you know what I mean. Like, don't tell me how to do something if you're not in the realm of dealing with it. If you don't watch something, if you don't watch podcasts, listen to podcasts, consume any type of podcast content, you cannot tell somebody how to fucking podcast. Only like you and your point of reference is probably coming from another walk of life that has nothing to do with a podcast. Like, yes, people are going to do podcasts and things aren't going to be like they're going to have notes scattered in front of them. They're going to stutter. They're going to like these are things that happens when you're doing long form content and you talk without a production team. These things are regular run of the mill shit. Like, so yeah, just a heads up for whoever's watching this is like, why doesn't he? Why we? Shut up. Oh man, let me get my call ready. All right, let me start sharing my screen. Share. All right. So, Shadeur Sanders. Oh man, my young nigga. I don't know what happened yesterday, but all right. So, pull up his stats. Shadeur Sanders, have a day. Fucking troll account. 3 of 6, 14 yards, 0 touchdowns, 5 sacks. I know it's a clip. This is this the clip? Yeah, this is the clip.
Wins away
Um,
again, keeping the play alive. The fans love it, but that's one of those plays where maybe he's got to roll out and throw it away, huh?
Yeah, I think he's getting a little bit too.
Sanders,
drifting,
pressured, spins away
drifting,
again,
spins
keeping the
away,
play alive.
backwards,
The
backwards.
fans love it, but that's
No
one of those
good.
plays where maybe he's got to roll.
It's no good, my brother. You can't do that. You can't do that. Um, Definitely a little bit disappointment. I'm not gonna break down the game or nothing like that. I'm not really in that kind of mode today. Definitely. I don't want to say he let us down because, there are some other tweets of people saying like Stefanski kind of like set him up to fail and, he wanted to justify his Dylan Gabriel pick. So, but just as like last or 2 weeks ago was like justification for a lot of Shador supporters, yesterday was a lot of justification for a lot of his haters. Um, like, look, this guy pulled up a tweet from December 29th. 2024. I'm sorry, Shador is not a first round prospect, and this is why. This is an egregious example of his pattern of taking too many bad sacks, having not learned as a 3 year starter to go down, not cost your team 3 points is alarming. I get it, bro, but we've seen worse, bro. Like, I've seen way worse work out in the league, man. Like, yeah, he gotta clean that up, but this is what happens when you don't have when you're in college, niggas when you're in a college like Colorado, niggas tend to play hero ball a lot because you don't have like the requisite weapons or you might not even have a skill set, so you're just trying to keep it alive, keep it alive, keep it alive, and you end up doing shit like that. I got some tweets saved. Josina Anderson. What did she say? So first she says, I'm not sure why the Browns have QB Snoop Huntley in there right now with the 900 quarterbacks on their roster. Satire. Unless Shadeur Sanders' oblique is bothering him to the point of not playing, he should have had the 2 minute situation to see what he could do with it, despite the protection woes since he entered the game as the third quarterback today. Oh, and there was no need to see Joe Flacco play today and take up the valuable evaluation reps. I've been seeing a lot of that. Like I said, they kind of like people are saying they set him up to fail, and then actually I'm gonna go into another tweet, not this one, but another one above this. I'm gonna read this. Kevin Stefanski was way too diplomatic today with how he handled his QB evaluation, as far as what was necessary and what wasn't. The head coach has to also be cognizant of actions that build his guys up. Excuse me. Versus introducing more mental static than necessary. Second, unless Shador Sanders' oblique was winching just to walk, he should have played at least 1 to 2 series last week versus the Eagles in their second preseason game. Yes, despite the risk, he'd have plenty time to heal because the Browns already knew Sanders wasn't going to be named starter, given Sanders limited reps in practice by comparison to the other QBs. He needed the second PG reps to maintain rhythm and carry over from his preseason debut. Again, what are the Browns gaining in their evaluation of Shador Sanders by how they rolled out the QB order today? Oh, I'm read that with another tone. Again, what are the Browns gaining in their evaluation of Shador Sanders by how they rolled out their QB order today? That said, Shador has to watch rolling back too deep into his own territory to buy more time when guys are not open and the pocket is collapsing. Also, he needs to maintain 360 awareness for rushes when he turns his back to the end zone. Don't make it worse. That said, Sanders obviously has more in his skill set than what the conditions allow today, and still he must rise above that. The saying still applies. One must be twice as good with half the opportunity. That's real shit. I agree with everything she said. I'm trying to be like fair in everything that happened yesterday. I mean, you can't really judge too much off 6 snaps, but that was a good part because why did they not let him play a little bit in the Eagles game? Like he played well in the Rams game, and then you just let him. Granted that he was hurt, but it's like why let him play in that not was it the Rams game? They played who the fuck did they play? I think it was the Rams. I forget what they played week one, but yeah, he played well. And then they just didn't let him play the next week, and now they're letting him play this week. 6 snaps. I don't get that. It does. I am a little cynical. It does feel like they're trying to justify drafting Dylan Gabriel. I don't want to say that they wanted to torpedo Sanders per se, but I don't think they're incentivized to have him. I don't think they're incentivized to have him end up starting over Dylan Gabriel at any point, given that Dylan was selected first. Because, that would be an omission of, okay, we picked the wrong player. So I don't get that. And that brings me to this next tweet. It caught my attention this morning. A head coach had an opportunity to instill some confidence in this young QB who was having a bad day, but chose to make sure the last thing that the QB will remember for a long time was that poor experience. I refuse to believe that was an accident. You can disagree, but that's how I feel. And I kind of feel that though, because it's like, why didn't you just let him do the 2 minute drill unless he's hurt? Why do you let Snoop Huntley do the 2 minute drill and you're probably going to end up cutting Snoop Huntley? Matter of fact, I know they're going to cut Snoop Huntley. Um, Where's this shit at? Because he had another tweet. Where's the other tweet at? I thought I bookmarked it. Like the Shador discourse is just so interesting. It appeared, I think this is the tweet. It appears to me Coach didn't want Shador to go in the game because he didn't want to hear all the convo about Shador leading a great 2 minute drill. Now who knows if he would have now who knows if he would have or not, but Coach didn't want to take that chance. Wanted the last memory of him was looking bad, so when they bury him, it would look justified. That's shady and untrustworthy behavior, so they should just let him go. Yeah, and I kind of agree with this overall because like if just let him go. Like why are we keeping him on a roster for this, dancing pony show? Like it's you got Flacco, Pickett, just cut Shador, bro. Just cut him. It'll make life easier for his supporters, his haters. It just make life easier for everybody, him, the team. because it'll be something definitive, just cut him, man. Because why didn't you just let him do this? It's the last game of the preseason. What are we doing? Like that, how does that make sense to somebody? Like, take away everything you know about the situation, how you feel about him. If you got your fourth string quarterback in the last game of the preseason and you put the fifth string in who won't make the roster, he's going to get cut. You put him in for the 2 minute drill for what exactly? You don't do it to win the game. It's preseason. Nobody gives a fuck. Half the people out there won't make the roster. Why not let Shadeur finish up? That's sketchy to me. That's real weird to me. So yeah, man, that was Shadeur's not debut, but his final preseason game, and I don't know, I'm just mainly confused about a lot of things. And I'm with Main Man, yo, just cut Shadeur, do whatever you gotta do, and just let somebody who wants him. Because that's the thing about sports and NFL. When people want you to work out, they're going to give you like chance after chance after chance. Like giving somebody 6 snaps in the preseason, in the final preseason game is not ideal. And then letting him miss the whole game before because he's injured. Like, what's the point? Just like the lady said, like Josina Anderson said, all right, if he's injured a little bit, still let him play. He'll have plenty of time to heal because he's not going to be the starter for the rest of the season. So I don't. What are we taking these injury precautions for? It couldn't have been that bad if he was able to play yesterday. So, yeah, I don't think they're setting Shador up to fail, but I wouldn't be shocked in the slightest. Because, like I said, these coaches have egos. They want to look smart. They want to justify a lot of things that they do or say. So they're going to they're going to do certain things. So yeah, I think. Overall, I don't want to say Shador let us down, but in a sense, he kind of let us. Well, I don't want to say he let us down. The situation at hand was a letdown. Um, so like my next topic, I want to get into this motherfucking fight between Jake Paul and Tank because I know it's a lot of it's complicated. It's not complicated, but it's a lot of mixed feelings on this. Like you got the boxing purist crowd who's like, motherfucker, how can you just dilute the game like that by giving this motherfucker Jake Paul credibility? It doesn't matter if it's an exhibition or not. Optically, you as a professional boxer, probably the best boxer in the game right now, damn sure the most famous one. You're going to do an exhibition match with Jake Paul so he can benefit off of the backs of real boxers. Like this is because people want to see real boxing matches. If Jake Paul was just fighting regular people on the street and streamers, nobody would watch it because he doesn't have any equity in boxing. But when someone like Tank offers to fight Jake Paul or whoever offered who, when you do that, Tank, you're using your equity in boxing to make this fight matter for Jake Paul because Jake Paul has been fighting the past couple years ever since his Tyson fight or the Mayweather thing or whatever the fuck. He's been fighting. Nobody's been talking about it. The only people only talk about it once he steps in the ring with real deal popular boxers, and it's like y'all giving this clown credence when it's already hard to get Tank to fight another prominent boxer. It's like I get all right, so it's a few layers here. It's like I get all right, so I got my notes. It's get the bag culture. It's like whatever Tank is being offered to fight. Let me see, because I think I seen something where he got like 40 million. Let me see, Kavita. I'm trying to figure out how much Tank is making from this joint. Yeah, I think the first takeaway everybody's like, well, you keep ducking all these fighters to do what exactly? like to just make money. It's like I get it, bro, but you destroying the sanctity of the sport. Like if you start doing this, bro, nothing will matter. Boxing just won't matter. There'd be so many boxers who realize, well, I can't get no fucking money unless I go fight a streamer, unless I go fight some random motherfucker. Like they already, they're not struggling to get money now, but they're struggling to get back into like, boxing don't really matter in like pop culture like it used to in like the 90s. And if you wanted to get back to that, people want Tank to fight people like Bud. People want Tank to fight people like people want Tank to fight people like just Shakur, shit like that. It's like other popular boxers. But when you step out of boxing and go fight somebody like Jake Paul, he's popular, no doubt. But it's like, brother, all you doing is watering down the actual sport now because it's a slippery slope. Like you do this, what does it look like for Bud Crawford? Granted, Bud's fighting Canelo, which is what we should be getting. We should be getting fights like that. But what does boxing look like in 2 to 3 more years if somebody else with some power in boxing or some notoriety decides like, all right, let me go fight Logan Paul for some money. Let me go fight a retired MMA guy for some money who's super famous. Let me go fight Aiden Ross. Like, why? And then you got like tweets like this. Javante Davis versus Jake Paul would do more numbers than Canelo and Crawford. And it's like, it's not about that. It's about seeing a good boxing match. I don't give a fuck about and this is another thing. Like, I see fans supporting Jake Paul and Tank for being able to like get money from it, but it's like, y'all going to turn that shit on. Y'all probably going to turn it off. Y'all not going to watch the whole thing. Y'all not going to really care for it unless it looks like Tank is losing. But if it goes how I think it's going to go, Tank in the prime of his career, he's going to fuck Jake Paul up. And Jake Paul's probably going to catch Tank a few times. And they're probably going to do it so that neither one of them really loses. And they just, they just going to float around in the ring just for the viewers. But it's like to people who watch boxing and enjoy boxing, enjoy people's skill set, understand skill sets, people who understand what they're watching, they're not gonna enjoy the shit. Like Jake Paul and Tank may do better numbers, but I can guarantee you Canelo and Crawford will be the better fight. Like that Jake Paul and Tank shit feels like it's something for casual people, like just somebody who don't know much about boxing, who knows something about Jake Paul is just going to turn it on. And that doesn't help the sport. That doesn't really help anything. It's just conflating everything. And pretty soon things won't matter as much. Like it takes me back to like something I said on one of my previous shows of people not chasing greatness. Everyone's chasing money, but no one's really chasing like greatness in their craft. And the money will come if you're great at it, but it's like we are so driven by this capitalistic worldview where it's just like maximize, maximize, maximize. It's like Tank would have made, let's say Tank would have made 20 million from fighting Shakur. But if he can make 60 fighting Jake Paul, he's gonna do that all day. And it's like I get it, it's a 40 million difference, but it's like it's just greed, bro. Like I don't want to sit up here and say, well, what can you do with 20 million that you can't do with 40 million? Or what can you do with 40 million that you can't do with 20 million or 60 million? It's like I don't want to get into that because there are things you can and can't do, but it's like, why does that matter? Like why does it matter that you can rent a jet for? Why does it matter that instead of renting a jet now you can own one? It's like that's just greed they talk about in the Bible, and I'm gonna get off my soapbox now because I think it's actually destroying society a little bit. This kind of greed because this type of thought process is leaking into a lot of different entities and industries and shit like that. That's like if for the NFL they just say, you know what? Oh, we got too many low scoring games. Not enough fans really understand what they're watching on defense. How about we just start a 7-on-7 league? This won't happen, but this is like the same analogy. Like, what if the NFL just said we're getting rid of 11-on-11 pads, whatever. We're just going to do 7-on-7, and we're just going to let y'all watch the QBs throw it and receivers catch it. And I I love football way too much to ever consume that. And if you said, "Oh, everyone here is going to get paid 10 million a game," I don't give a fuck. Like I don't. I don't watch this because these niggas get paid. Are you shitting me? And that's another thing I'm noticing on like in Twitter and shit like that. People are like, y'all don't like they gonna get the bag, they gonna do numbers. It's like I don't give a fuck, bro. I am a fan. You guys are being exploited and y'all are like fueling the exploitation. Who fucking cares? Like they're exploiting y'all because they know y'all will watch the craziest shit at least once. That's why they know a lot of y'all out there will watch some of the craziest shit at least once. When Jake Paul fought Tyson, I did not watch that shit. I didn't give a fuck. Are you kidding me? That's not boxing. I don't care. Wow. Why does that matter to me? Because they told me it mattered by producing it and putting it on Netflix and streaming it. Like just because they do all that does not mean it should matter to me or anyone else. Like this shit is dumb. Like fans need to like I get the money part of it, but fans need to stop watching clickbait shit. Like watch shit that matters. Watch shit that's like where there are real stakes involved. Like there's nothing at stake here. This shit does not matter. It's not gonna go on anyone's record. It's just like some clickbaity shit, and it's like social media, man. Just social media is just all about clickbait, getting the most amount of views and impressions on the initial attempt. That's all it is. It's not about sustain, longevity. It's not about any of that no more. It's just about what can we make, what can we do, what can we say to get the most people to watch this shit in this instance. I'm all about sustainability. Everything in my life is I do to sustain. I don't do shit for instant gratification. I don't do shit for a quick check. Like I do things because I want it to last. Like this model is not going to last because either boxers are just going to start beating the shit out of these niggas or one of these boxers is going to get embarrassed. And then if a boxer gets embarrassed, then guess what? Guess what's going to stop mattering? Boxing. They're like, oh, this nigga lost to such and such. I'm not definitely not watching these boxers now. I want to see more boxers lose to streamers. It's just like it's all chaotic, and I honestly need someone to talk to about this. I need to talk this out with someone because if I go, bro, I'ma just go all fucking day long. Like this shit. And bro, not for nothing, Tank definitely like fucking with his legacy a little bit. Like I don't know. Cause people already say he don't fight enough people. And if he like, I don't think he'll retire after this, but if he can't like he has to do something moving forward to like get back into like good graces with people or to just I don't know, bro. Like you doing shit like this, I'm gonna say it again. Like you keep doing shit like this, bro. Keep it up. You will not matter to me. You will not matter to me at all. Cause like nigga, you are famous. You control what's marketable and what's profitable. Why are you just letting like you could tell them like, yo, I will fight such and such if y'all give me 100 million. Your record will be on the line. That will be at stake. But that's the point of it, brother. Like it's real stakes because you're fighting real boxers. And it's a real record. Like that's why you should be compensated 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 mil. But you trying to get 60 mil fighting Jake Paul because y'all gonna get fucking 20 million people to watch some BS, 20 million people who aren't even boxing fans to watch some BS who like, oh, it's just all bad. Now, there's another angle of him doing this and then possibly gaining more fans and notoriety and then just, boom, boom, boom. I got the big payday, wash my hands with Jake Paul, fuck him up, don't do this shit ever again. And I get my payday, like I said. And then I go on to fight some other people because in boxing, once you lose and shit like that, it starts to affect your bottom line, which is money. So once you got like certain losses on your resume, it can affect what you can command. So maybe Tank has like some bright idea of what he can command after this and moving forward. So I'll watch it because I like Tank. It's not gonna be like Tyson versus Jake Paul with a wash Tyson. I'll watch it because it's Tank, but yeah, I'm looking forward to Canelo and Crawford in September. So moving on. I think I'm gonna just do one more topic but I just have so many topics. I think I'm just going to finish up like the worst person you know. So, I was going to talk about Gavin Newsom too, but I think I'm going to do that with my boys next week. Juice H Snow, they all should be coming back next week. And we're going to start our weekly podcast about everything. So stay tuned for that. Well, I just want to finish with the segment, the worst person you know. So if you missed it in the beginning, for whatever reason, um, I gave an example of people who make left turns without using the turn signal. Another another example of the worst person you know. Actually, the worst, let me say it differently. The worst person you know just became a home health aide just to scroll Instagram in her scrubs and take pictures in the patient's bathroom. The worst person you know just did that. She just got approved to do that shit. She woke up, she got out of bed. First thing she did was smoke. This shit is so funny because like we all know somebody like that. It's like she smoked, came to the person's house late, not on time. I don't even want to get too specific without having y'all thinking I'm talking about somebody. But the worst person you know just became a home health aide and they're doing absolutely nothing right now. They're not helping the patient at all, and they're taking hella pictures in their scrubs. The worst person you know just told you to stop using AI via text from an iPhone that has thousands of minerals in it that were dug up by prepubescent children of Mongolia. Like that, the worst person you know just told you to stop using AI from an iPhone. Like, think about that. Like, motherfuckers so judgmental, bro. That shit is disgusting. And lastly, the worst person you know won't give the less fortunate, homeless, or anybody begging, looking for money because they think they're gonna buy drugs with it. Who fucking cares, bro? It's like, do y'all understand what it's like out there for someone who's like in those dire situations to beg? Because if they beg all day and they don't get no money from nobody, you know what might end up being an option for them? They might fuck around, knock some old lady upside the head just to get 10, $20, $5, whatever the fuck she got on. They might rob a store. They might hurt somebody. That they might do something that might be a detriment to themselves, society, or someone else just to get one, two, three, four, $5, $10. When I give a less fortunate person some money, I do it because to prevent those things from happening. And I do it because I want to just make their situation easier. It's not up to me to decide what they should do with the money. That's not why I give them the money. I don't give them the money to make sure that they do something responsible or because fact of the matter is whatever money I give them is not going to change their lives. It's just not. So you have to like dumb it down a little bit. You give these people some money or something in hopes that they don't end up causing harm to anyone or themselves in order to get this little bit of money that's, little bit in the grand scheme of things. It's not going to change anyone's situation. Like you just want to like help. We need to all start to realize what we contribute to society and what affects certain things. And not we need to figure out and pay attention to what is going on in society, how people operate in society, what's causing certain things to happen in society. Like there's a lot of people you hear stories all the time. Old lady gets hit upside the head, old lady gets robbed, this old person, like you hear those stories all the time. And chances are they're getting robbed by somebody who could be a drug addict for better or worse. But they're taking this route to get the money because they have no other options. and he hit that old lady upside the head for her purse because you wouldn't give him the money because you were just so hopped up and hell bent on them going to Wendy's. When it's like, no, bro. Like a lot of times these motherfuckers know how to get some food. They know how to fill their stomachs up. Like they not just dying on the street from starvation. That's I won't say it's rare, but them niggas ain't really dying. Like they will figure that shit out, bro. But that other shit is when they start to make horrific decisions to get it done. When it comes to food, they'll wait in line at a free market. They'll wait. They'll do all of that shit. They're not about to die from starvation, but when it comes to them drugs, bro, and them vices, bro, they will do some shit that you would never even think of to get that shit because they just can't get that monkey off their back. They got an itch they can't scratch. When it come to food, bro, they'll be patient and they're not gonna hurt nobody for the most part. They're not gonna hurt somebody the same way that they would to get money for drugs that they would for food. Like it's just not. So, like I said, worst person you know won't give money to a beggar because they want to dictate how they spend the money. And that is the worst person you know because who fucking cares? Like, but and that is another episode of the Uncle P Show. Yeah, so like, share, subscribe. Patreon coming soon. Not safe for work with the sports with the guys coming soon. Not safe for work. Not safe for work. Night shift with the guys coming soon. Everything coming soon. So yeah, I'm holla at y'all. Peace.